Hey everybody, good morning. Chef Michael here. And just wanted to give you guys a quick update on the towers behind me and my patio garden because some of you guys have been asking. So we'll go ahead and we'll jump right into it. So this is my garden tower 2. Now I've had some issues with this one with the soil based, getting the nutrients just right in the soil mix. Um, it does have a compost tube built into the system down in the middle. So you just throw all your compost in. The big thing with this one is it relies on the red wigglers to give you proper aeration in the soil for the worm castings to get in there and whatnot. Now, I've kind of made my own soil blend this year and added a lot of my homemade compost to it. Took out what was in there and then put a few new plants in here. But the issue that I'm having right now is the weather just out here in Arizona just will not make up its mind this year. Coming into March now, we've had a lot of rain in February and it's been cold. Normally it's already warmed up about this point. But this year, now I did have this on my garden tower in the hydro tower. And every time I planted eggplants in the hydro, they just come out super tiny. And I've asked around about it. People have asked me, well, how much light do they get and things like that. They get full sunshine. They even had the light bar on them. The other thing I've noticed is I get these funky bugs. I had to spray with neem oil a few days ago, and then I wiped all the bugs out. But it's almost like some weird green aphid that attacks these. But anyway, so right now I got some sunflowers that I planted. I have my pineapple sage. Now this actually lasted through the entire summer last year. Going into winter, I've cut it back and now it's coming back again. Even in the cold, it's still coming back. And these are a couple more sunflowers, some cilantro on top. Now over here on the side, I've had these tomatoes going since last year. Now they kind of, even in the winter, you'll see like they're sprouting here and there. Just kind of left it alone. I want to see how it does when spring starts, when it actually warms up around here. So I have found with the garden towers like this that, it is a very small footprint. It is easy to do urban gardening in this. However, you're limited because you get so many roots in there as far as the height of the growth. As you can see right now, I got some sugar snap peas in there. I got some squashes growing. I took a strawberry off the hydro. This plant here will actually be a hummingbird and butterfly attractant. And these things get huge. They're also known as Indian blanket flowers. So let's move on over here. There's nothing in that one. Now this is my tarragon plant. Needs to be trimmed up a little bit. He's kind of died out a little bit through the winter. Now in the spring, this thing will come back and this thing will get massive. This is my oregano plant, still doing really well. This is my lemon balm, needs to be trimmed up just a little bit. So now we'll come over here. Now this is my lemon verbena. Of course it's died out. I had this as a little baby last year. Even over the winter in the 38-degree temperatures, this has still been growing. Gets lots of sunshine typically, and it's got good compost in here, so that probably has some contribution to it as well. You can see all kinds of new growth on it, and when you just smell the lemon verbena, it's one of my favorite smells for flowers. So before we get to the tower garden, we'll come over here. I have some tulips coming up, some lilies coming up down here. I have some other stuff that I've just thrown in here, and this is the start of a new compost bin over here. Has not been mixed yet, and this one is one that I just mixed up. This one's been going since about October. Everything's almost there. I still keep adding to it. probably add some worm castings and some other things to that, but it's been looking good. And this is a lavender plant, looking horrible through the winter. Looks like this piece right here will probably need to be trimmed off. This is a trailing lavender plant, so you know this one will come back once it heats up. And then we come over to our tower garden, the hydro version, and I did make some updates yesterday when it was sunny. Now I actually trimmed back some of the tomatoes. You see that the cold weather has really started to get to these down here, so we'll do some more trimming up on these probably today. But it's odd, even as cold as it's been, I'm still getting fruit on here. I mean, you can look down there, you can see all kinds of hanging fruits on there. So this plant has just been going since July of last year. So I've just kept it in here, kept it going, and that's why I've held off on taking this apart to do the spring cleaning this year. I'll probably do it at summertime when I transition again. So strawberries though are still going strong. As you see, it's still just fining like crazy. You know, so getting all kinds of strawberries. The pepper plants are not looking so good right now because of all this cold weather. So this one I just transplanted in here yesterday, so it's probably going to take it a couple days to get used to everything. Another pepper plant there, another one over there, some lettuce. This parsley's really been taking off. Even through the winter, this parsley's just been growing. And some real pretty flowers up here coming up. Got the marigolds here. As you see, even more strawberries. Okay, now this is another new tomato coming up. This is going to be a black creme tomato coming up. And the reason that I plant my tomatoes on the bottom is because tomatoes are so root heavy. That way I can go in and I can make sure the air pump down at the bottom is just flowing constantly. And I do use an air pump on here just for the additional oxygen that tomatoes especially like to have. Like you see this tomato plant, he's been around since, so this guy's the same size. The stalk on this has never grown at all. He's just been this little mound. And now you see in the last couple weeks, I'm just getting these mass tomatoes all over this guy. I mean, it's just filled with tomatoes in there. So can't wait to see how that one comes out. I'm surprised that I think the weather during the winter months probably stunted the growth, but it was a test to kind of see how it performed, and I can't believe it's still living and going. So this is another pepper plant that I planted. More strawberries. This pepper plant's holding strong. It's another butterfly and insect attractant. The chives are growing strong again. The thyme is still holding up. More strawberries. Now this jalapa pepper plant down at the bottom, the weather I think really affected that. I may have to pull this one if it doesn't come back. But you know, this is a lot of the gardening that I do. There will be, you know, a lot more to come. I think I'm going to do some CBD or some cannabis outside and just see kind of how it does. It's kind of where we're at, getting everything situated, getting ready for spring. You know, like I said, it's been cloudy and rainy, and this is the first bit of sunshine I've really seen all morning. But anyway, if you guys like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and hit that bell for notifications. I'll be putting out these garden updates pretty frequently through the spring, and I'll be getting some more cannabis and regular recipes out to you guys and show you guys the grows. Talk to you guys later. Happy Sunday.